So, Johnette, is it daytime or nighttime?
It's daytime,
Are you indoors or outdoors?
outside.
Very good. And look down. Do you have a body? Look down at your feet. Do you
Yeah,
have,
I assume so. Yes, yes.
okay, so look down at your feet. Are you
Hmm.
wearing shoes on your feet?
No.
And are your feet male or female?
Mm. Male.
Very good. And now I'd like you to look up from your feet to your legs and your torso. What are you wearing?
Loose wool, like homespun wool,
Very good. Uh-huh.
kind of loose clothes.
And what
The
color?
thing that the thing that I notice the most is I'm in a desert. There's just a lot of sand. It's a very
Very,
sandy desert.
very good. Very good. And so you're wearing wool clothing?
Well, yeah,
All right.
but
And
maybe it's some goats or something. I don't know.
so, what I'd like you to do is take a look at your hands. Are you carrying anything in your hands?
I have some ropes in my hands.
Very good. And if you could hold a mirror to your face, what color is your hair?
Dark brown or black.
And what color is your skin?
Mm, brown, not Negro brown, but brownish Caucasian brown.
Very good. And so now, as you look around this desert, what else do you see? What are you doing with the ropes in your hand?
I think I'm pulling something.
I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and you'll know what it is. 3, 2, 1. What is it that you're pulling?
It's like a treboy or something that the Indians had. It's pulling as a way to transport stuff.
Very good. And what is in this that you're pulling?
Maybe a tent. It looks like cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very good. Is anybody else with you?
yeah, it seems like others are pulling things as well. Like we're traveling, we're moving from one place to another.
Very good. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and let's move to the next important scene in this lifetime. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. Tell me now what you see.
There's a cave. We're at the mouth of a cave. It's cool. You can feel it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting stuff in the cave. It's a storage place.
Very good. And what kinds of things are you putting in the cave?
Documents.
Very good. And where are these documents from? I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and you will know. 3, 2, 1. What are these documents that you're putting in the cave?
They're scrolls. They're saved. There's teachings and wisdom in them.
Very good. And where are you transporting these documents from?
from many villages.
Are there currently other documents in the cave, or these are the first ones you're putting in there?
Yes, no, the cave seems like it's a library. It's a safe holding place for these documents.
Very good. And so, are you all on the planet Earth?
Yes.
Very good. And where are you on the Earth from a bird's eye view? What continent are you on?
The Middle East.
In the Middle East. So let's take a look. How many people are storing the documents in this cave?
There's 18 of us this time.
Very good. And are you allowed access to the documents, access to read the documents?
We know what they say, many of them. We've studied them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are from our wisdom from the star people. That came down through us. There's charts and things, heavenly drawings and maps.
Very good. And these star people, what area were they from that brought this knowledge for you?
I have Arcturus in my brain, so I say Arcturus, but there may be more. Um, it's a council. It's a council of star people who gave us this knowledge.
Very good. Was it mixed races?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. Let's go to another important scene in this lifetime. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. Tell me where you are. What's going on?
Back in a village, there's talking, there's teaching, there's two things are happening. There's preparing for something, and there's teaching children, bringing, explaining things to young people, not little children, but
Very good. And let's see where it is that you live in this village. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and I would like for you to be in front of your dwelling. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. What do you see in front of you?
it's like adobe. The
Hmm.
house is like adobe. It's earthen, simple. It's got wood around the doors, but it's not wood.
What shape is the house?
Pretty square.
Very good. Now I'd like you to find the entryway into the door and step inside
Okay.
and describe the inside of your home.
There's a fire on the right side, a fireplace.
Hmm.
Ahead, there's tables. The left side, there's a bed along the wall.
Very good. And now let's have a meal in this lifetime. I'm going to count from 3 to 1 and let's have a meal. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. As you look down, what is it that you're eating?
So flatbread, and we're having lamb.
Very good. And as you look around, are there others at the table? Are you at a table? Where are you eating?
Yeah, at a table.
And as you look around, are there others around you having a meal with you?
Yes, it's pretty crowded. There's some, like, maybe other male relatives of mine, maybe father, brothers-in-law.
Hmm.
It's mostly men.
At this table?
Yeah, I can't see where my wife is. She might be here too, or else just coming and going.
Are there any women sitting at the table, or do you think it's customary for the women to be at another table?
Yeah, I don't see them sitting at the table. I think my wife is coming and going. She might have a stool at the table sometimes,
Hmm.
but the children are out. It seems like an earnest discussion.
And let's see, what are you all discussing at this table?
We're discussing plans to keep everything safe. The scrolls safe. Um,
And who are you trying to keep them safe from? Is someone actually after them, or it's just an archival process?
it looks like our people are being pushed out. So the people are not looking for the scrolls. They don't know they're there. But it looks like our people are being pushed out by other tribes or other people.
What is it? What is your tribe known as in the region?
The word I get, I don't know if it's a tribe, Aramaic.
Aramaic.
I think
And-
that's a religion, but I mean, I think that's a language. I don't know.
Okay. And then what are you called? What do they call you in this lifetime?
John, or some form of John.
So let's see what your role is, John, in this village. What is it that you do?
I'm an elder and a council member to keep a village elder, but more than the village, bigger area. Um, my people raise sheep, so there are sheep around, but I don't deal with them. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
it looks like I communicate with star beings, with beings who bring the knowledge to us. There's a place I go in the desert, like a kiva would be,
Yes.
and communicate with these beings who are helping us, giving us knowledge, helping us remember our connections.
And in this communication, which way, how are you communicating?
It must be in a trance-like state, going into a trance-like state and receiving these communications.
So is it a form of channeling? Are you channeling the information and someone is scribing it, transcribing it for you, or listening as you get the information? How do you get the information and then get it put on tablets?
Hmm. Feels like it's a download that I I can't tell if I see these star beings or if I just feel their presence. I might actually see them, but I don't see that they write anything. They did not bring these scrolls. We we have the scrolls and we write down what they help imprint on it or something like that.
Yes. So, what kind of information, specific kind of information, are they giving you? Their objective to help you see your connection to the galaxies or just how to do things on Earth? What kind of information are they relaying to you?
Galactic maps and stargates.
Oh, here we go. Very good. And explain stargates. What do the stargates do?
Ways to move from Earth to other consciousness where star beings can meet us.
So, does your tribe have the capacity to travel through these stargates?
Some of us do. We've been trained.
And that is traveling consciously with your with your conscious going through the stargates till you meet them.
Yes, sometimes, once in a while, they materialize with us and teach us.
And what kinds of things? So they've given you maps and stars, the stargates. So let's go ahead. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and let's move to the next important scene in this lifetime. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. Now tell me what's happening.
It looks like I'm traveling, that I am in a stargate or I'm going somewhere. I'm not on Earth anymore.
Very good.
Mm.
Just and describe what you see as you're moving through, or seeing or feeling.
Geometries, like compressed geometries.
Hmm.
I'm not there yet. I don't know where there is. I'm still
Does
traveling.
it feel comfortable for you to travel? Is it something that makes you angst, or are you very comfortable with this moving through?
It's odd, but I'm comfortable.
Very good. Let me know when you arrive.
Done it before. I arrive on a huge spaceship.
Very good. Tell me more.
They know me. I am one of them.
Yes.
Maybe you'd say an officer, someone they know.
Hmm.
They debrief me what happens on Earth, that's how I can bring the star messages in and draw them on the scrolls because I bring those messages in, write them down, and then we hide them.
Very good. And this spaceship, where is its origin? Or the race of people on this spaceship, the galactic race on this?
I have difficulty because this whole idea of Arcturus, it may be Arcturus,
Don't judge it, just say it. Just
Turian.
say it. So when you're in the ship, as you look at your body, do you look the same as you do on the ground, or do you look differently? Are you dressed differently? Look down at your feet on the spaceship. What are you wearing?
Like booties.
Very good. And look up at your clothing. What's your clothing?
It's blue, stretchy.
Very good. And take a look at your hands. What color is your skin?
I think it's kind of gray, but what I notice is I have
Describe your hands.
the fingers are different.
Yeah, describe your hands. Describe your fingers.
It's like there's there's four fingers, but they're separated. The two like this, two little ones and two big ones.
And are the fingers long? Do they have an interesting shape to them?
They're pretty long. There is a thumb. It's long too. Yeah, they're long. They're weird.
Mm-hmm. And as you look, describe what your face looks like.
They might be bluish gray. I can't tell
Mm-hmm.
if it's blue clothes or blue skin.
Mm-hmm. Take a
Face.
moment. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. You will know. Is it a uniform or is it their skin? 3, 2, 1. You will know. Look at your arm. Does your sleeve match your hands?
Yes, the skin looks blue.
Very good. And now look at your face. What does your face look like? Describe what you look like.
It's fairly oval. Big eyes, no chin.
Very good. And how about your nose?
Very little nose.
Mm-hmm. And do you have hair?
No.
Very good. Let's see how you get nutrients on this ship. How do you get nutrients? Do you have a mouth?
Yeah, there's a mouth, but I don't think we eat. It's like we put our hands on something and nutrition just vibrations come into our body. We don't have a digestive system.
Very good. Now, I would like you to look around that ship, and I would like you to look around and see how many other shipmates do you see up there?
I don't see them, but I hear thousands.
Hmm. And as you look around, do you see anybody that you recognize?
I see a being who is my partner,
Your partner?
who holds, who's like the other side when I'm transmitting. When I'm on Earth,
Yes.
partner is who channels to me and brings through the drawings that I bring.
Hmm. And how do you all speak? Do you use words or are you telepathic?
Telepathic.
Very good. So, what is the purpose of you coming up to the ship at this point in time? What is your assignment at this point? Why are you there?
To receive permission to open the stargates more, or maybe it's the hmm, facility to open the stargates more between Earth and these dimensions and this ship.
And why is that? Why is that a request? What's the benefit of opening the stargates more?
So more humans can travel because there's great difficulty on Earth for more humans to be able to travel to these worlds.
Very good. So, you're coming back up to see if they open the stargates. And how do you get permission to get these stargates open?
It's setting up the technology, setting up the energy infrastructure to do it. There's no lack, there's not lack of permission so much as the technology of opening these gates.
Very good. And what does it entail to open these gates?
Various levels of alignment, balancing, then higher alignment and balancing, and then higher and higher. There's just like different levels of it. And each jump needs to be balanced and aligned, and then another jump and another jump.
Very good. So who are you discussing with to open these gates wider?
There's the team. They are trying to get their name. It, it's kind of like they're the salvage team. They're trying to salvage people.
So elaborate on that a little bit more. Are they trying to get people to ascend to be able to come in?
Yes, yes.
And these are the leftover people that are still on the earth?
It's no longer just the time of John. It's different times now. The times of John were one time,
Yes.
and now it's a future time, and we're opening these gates so humans can go back to the stars.
So when you call yourself a salvage team, is
It's
is
almost
the
like
Earth still 3D? Is that what you're looking at? Still a 3D Earth?
it is, but there's calamities, and these stargates need to be put in place before the calamities so that people with the wisdom and the experiences they've gathered on earth can ascend and not lose all their knowledge and wisdom and bring it back to the stars. It's somehow a salvation mission, putting these steps into place.
Very good. And so what happens next?
I get permission and then return to earth, but at a different time.
Very good. And where, as you return to Earth, now where are you? What's around you?
This is freaky, but it's me, Johnette.
Yes. And what are you doing?
From earth, building the parts of the stargates, opening them so humans can be salvaged.
And how are you doing that?
Still talking to, not writing maps on scrolls anymore, but still talking in trance to get the information from the ones who are still in the starships, doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So that they can learn to elevate their conscious to be able to get through the gates.
Yes.
So is the Octurian counterpart you see on the ship, is this a total Octurian ship? Or are there many species on this ship?
There are many. It is a galactic federation
There you go. Galactic Federation, what?
city in a starship.
Yes, yes. So tell me more about this as you see yourself. So this is your role on Earth
Okay.
so that they can get through the portal.
Oh, it is frustrating because they are so, they humans are so blind and so stubborn that they choose to suffer They don't trust what they can't see, and they can't see what they don't trust. So, right now, we're opening these stargates, and mostly it's the children who go through. They don't leave the earth, but their consciousness gets filled with their knowledge from this more developed civilizations. And these children have this remembrances because they trust what they don't see.
And when do the children go through the stargates?
At night,
And during their sleep? Yes.
there's
And
something else I need to say. Let me find it. Hmm. Many on this ship have been on Earth before,
mhm,
so they know how Earth works. And there is a exodus from these starships back through the stargates to Earth. Many Earth forms, Earthlings are converted star people coming in great numbers. It is a dangerous time on Earth. There is much magnetic weakness in the Earth's field. The Earth is less stable.
mhm.
There's a vast interconnection between the Galactic Federation and Earth. Intricate plans for if Earth loses its magnetic field and can no longer sustain life. The it's very active between the Earth and these starships now.
And if the Earth loses its magnetic field, the galactic, these ships are trying to get the humans prepared to be able to go through the portals.
The humans may lose their lives,
Yes.
but their consciousness will be able to go through the portals, and the consciousness can take other lives. So humans don't understand that their consciousness is so immortal and their life themselves itself is not so important. So if it happens life will end very quickly. But as consciousness has already shown flexibility to move through these stargates, the consciousness is ready to be incarnated in other forms, in other planets, in other worlds, healthy and ready.
Yes.
I need water.
Do you have water?
Yes.
Take a moment. Let's resume where we left off. So, if the humans don't raise their consciousness and the catastrophic events happen and the humans die, what becomes of their consciousness if it's not accelerated to go through the portals?
The heaviest of consciousness that cannot accelerate is lost.
Ah. Forever?
Your understanding of souls is not quite right. Your understanding of souls is that it's attached to a human, but it's more like consciousness at all levels takes bodies, takes form, with the opportunity to increase its frequency.
Okay.
But if it cannot, that frequency just stays heavy. And the frequency that could increase continues to evolve.
Got it.
The loss of the Earth's magnetic field is not the same as global warming. It is something that sometimes happens with magnetic shifts. It is not a foregone conclusion. It is just that there is a great deal of effort not to lose the evolution that humanity has acquired,
Yes.
because that acquisition is part of all evolution of all star beings. We are very interbred, and the evolutionary lines of humanity are healthy and vibrant and strong.
And the conscience that is lost, is it, would other star beings, how would the other star beings suffer from that not being evolved and raised and moving through?
It will not suffer. The lost consciousness just ceases
To exist.
Yes, because it is consciousness that is so earthbound. If something happens to the earth, it cannot escape. But
Got
the
it.
higher consciousness continues to evolve and nothing is lost.
Got you.
And you can't think of it as individuals are lost. It's that the heavy consciousness can't evolve, so it doesn't.
Okay. So in Jeanette's work, is it the same work that she's doing right now? Raising the consciousness?
Indeed. And accelerating the opening of dimensions so that star beings can come through these stargates as well. These gates can't just be opened from star beings saying hocus pocus. They have to also be opened from earthlings. They are two-way tunnels.
Yes.
So her work is very important as a opener of tunnels to meet the star tunnels, the stargates that the star beings can construct. She has to get the gates open enough to build those steps to where the meeting place is, which she calls Shambhala consciousness.
Ah, yes.
Once she got to Shambhala consciousness, the star beings could reach there.
Very good. And how is she doing in her task?
She is doing well. She thinks it depends upon how many individuals she reaches, but it doesn't matter. The Stargate is opened by the work of a few, and it's accessible to many. It's already being used to bring these children to these dimensions when they sleep.
So it would kind of be as the children are going to school at night, getting their education from higher beings so that they will have that here on earth when it's their turn.
It's beautiful, yes.
Mm-hmm. So do we have humans doing the same thing as well? I mean, grown-ups?
Yes, yes.
Well,
Children are just less preoccupied.
So is it a conscious effort for the adults to get up through the Stargate to go at night? Is it do they have to consciously say, I'm ready to go through, or once they're or as consciousness is that high, it can make it through, but do they have to? I understand as consciousness is high enough, they make it through. As individuals, can individuals make a choice? Like you say, children get through the Stargate. Can individuals make the choice to go through, or just if their consciousness is high enough, they are going through at nighttime?
If they make choices to expand their consciousness, they'll absolutely go through at nighttime, but their choosing consciously helps build the infrastructure of the Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
So they're construction workers as well as traveling at night. It takes consciousness, aware, intentional consciousness to get the flow started in this Stargate, get it moving. And as it moves, then adults with good hearts who don't know anything about consciousness will also move through the gates without knowing anything.
Very good. Simplistic question, I guess, but of course, this is what we're talking about with the ascension. Is this the same equivalence of the constant going to 5D? Is this the same Stargates, or it's really not that? Is it the same thing, or it's a different terminology, different happening? I mean, raising the consciousness of the humans is the goal. Raising the consciousness on the earth is the goal. But is the total goal so that they can get through the Stargates, so that they can go explore and learn from other races?
And bring their earth learning, which is precious, to the other races. So whatever you call it, the fifth dimension, the 11th dimension, the 28th dimension, it is the same thing. There is really let us see. There's really only one Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
There's different entrances into the siphon or the cyclone of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's, and not all have to be conscious or use spiritual terms that you all find comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So, how many entrances are there into the Stargate? Are they physically located places?
Not necessarily. They were once physically located places, but now that the Stargate is more active,
Mm-hmm.
then people can find these entrances by their awareness and not by having to go to someplace on Earth.
Got it. Very good. So, can we look more at Jeanette's role on the ship itself? We know that here at Earth, what her role is. On the Galactic Federation, does she have just continual contact with them through her channeling? Is that basically what she does? She has constant contact with them?
Not just through her channeling, just she doesn't know it always. She is a liaison officer between Earth and this galactic federation. She called it an ambassador, but it's a liaison officer. She is more often than she knows on this starship.
And is this the same starship that Jill and Alba are on, or they are on a different starship?
They are on this one too.
Tell me more about that.
It's a major starship focused on Earth. It's not just focused on Earth, but it is focused on this sun's solar system. It
So,
is a very big starship.
so am I on this starship as well?
Yes, you are.
What is my role on this starship?
Among other things, you are a medical officer. You help with healing of these Earth beings when they see, coming through the Stargate isn't a final thing. You don't come through and then never return to Earth. When
Mm-hmm.
the Stargate is open, it's an interactive portal. So
Mm-hmm.
there are Earth beings who come for healing on the ship, and you are a medical officer doing this healing with these beings who need it.
How do I heal on the ship?
Love, it's vibrations. You just be with them and love them, and your vibration knows how to heal or take away their pain or take away their misconceptions that led to their illness. You are very busy at night.
So, how does that relate to what I do here on Earth?
You are good at transporting people to other dimensions. They are freed of their cognitive mind. And so you may look like a therapist here, but you're being with them. You heal with your vibration and your connection to them on Earth as you do on the ship.
So, what is it that I need to do to improve my skill? Or is there another direction I need to move in as well?
It is not so much skill as love and amplitude of your energy.
Mm-hmm.
As you trust and love, your amplitude is bigger and
Mm-hmm.
it goes in and heals more beings that you don't even have to know. Your amplitude goes out
Mm-hmm.
through the Stargate into Earth and and you are always connected. You are just an avatar on Earth. You are always connected to yourself on this starship.
Mm-hmm. So, since Johnette, thank you for that. So, back on the ship, it's very interesting that Jill and Johnette found each other in Alba. Are we to be working together in the future, our group, or we're just be passing?
There will be work together. It will evolve
Mhm.
without trying to push it.
Very good. Just let it happen. Very good. So, what does Johnette need to know about this galactic working on this galactic ship? Is there anything else while we are here that can help her in her mission, in her work, in to make an impact in what she's doing?
She is good at what she's doing, and many people following their own heart are doing help as well. It is a combined effort. The frequencies that are coming to Earth through this Stargate are impeccable and searing in that it's like a hot flame, and Earth is going through a time of hot flame, but the energies are precise, they're impeccable, and those who lift and love each other, their hearts will arise to these places. And those that cannot get there, they'll live a life, but it won't evolve. So their life is still their life, but there's a difference between humans who actually evolve and ones who stay in karma.
So karma will remain if they don't evolve their consciousness.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
The experience ultimately, well, there is a physical level, like a great deal of light can change a great deal of darkness, but there is a physics level that if that darkness is below a certain threshold, or if that lack of evolution is above a certain threshold, it's not in the right quantum field. It can't be sucked up. It can't go. It can't go.
That makes sense. So, can you explain to her what is going on when she walked into the pyramid in Peru and she got very large and the word Kumara, that she's a Kumara? Can you give her more insight into that? Or is there a lifetime we need to go visit for her to see that, her role as a Kumara? Can you give her more information on that?
When the earth was especially dark, we from the Federation colonized Venus. And created a civilization there of knowledge and temples and love and grace and beauty. This was when humanity was not able to be cloned yet or upgraded from primitive. And then once the star seeds began multiplying on Earth and humanity could hold a higher vibration than merely animals and had access to higher consciousness, then we on Venus began to work consciously with the more advancing earth beings.
Mm-hmm.
Jeanette's role is from the Galactic Federation. She is from there, but is part of the colony on Venus to be a middle ground for evolution on Earth. Many of our Starfleet spent time in Venus preparing for interactions and lives on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jeanette feels the Kumara, it is, the Kumaras are more human than are we when we are on the spaceship. They look like enlightened light beings, so they're more accessible to humanity.
So, do they walk the earth? Do they show themselves?
Not often, because they are not beings who are evolved are not understood by unevolved beings. So it is not, they walk the earth, but not as Kumaras.
So, this feeling that she has when she says Kumara and she feels so big, that is her as this being?
It is absolutely her as this being.
And does she have, I know we're multidimensional, but does she have additional traits or skill sets as this Kumara that she doesn't have as Jeanette?
Yes, she has access to wisdom and power that are unavailable in just the human form. She doesn't need this wisdom and power on earth. It is a non-earthly wisdom and power that she uses when she works in the higher dimensions, when she needs to banish darkness. It's not Jeanette who does it. It is her Kumara self who has that power to banish some forms of dark beings who inhabit the earth.
Ooh, that's a great power. So Johnette wants to know, is there, she understands her role now. So what else? So the Kumara banishes dark beings. Anything else? She just wanted to understand her role as a Kumara.
She should not be afraid to be the Kumara. It is, she can use its power, her power, more often, commanding, intending, healing.
By simply calling it forth as
Yes.
Johnette?
Yes, just call Johnette calling forth this energy of Kumara.
Johnette, do you understand?
Yes.
Mhm.
It cannot be out of ego. It's not Johnette ego calling forth, it's Kumara calling forth in spite of Johnette's smallness.
Very good. Is there anything else she needs to know as her role as Kumara?
Her job is to help other Kumaras know themselves and wake up.
It was her understanding that there were only a select few Kumaras. Are there?
That was the old training. That was what she read, but that's not true. There are many who are coming from Venus now.
Very good. So there's many Kumaras.
And they have different abilities. Johnette's Kumara is power and wisdom. Others might have more of the love frequency. Others might have more of the healing frequency. So the Kumaras have different areas of expertise.
Can you show Johnette a visual of Kumara in her mind? Does she have a visual of when she's Kumara, what it looks like?
She sees herself as very big and in kind of white or pastel robes. She doesn't see a face. She mostly just sees the robes and the light that comes from them.
Mm-hmm. Do they have human-like features in their face?
Radiant human-like features.
Mm-hmm. And when she said she feels so big as a Kumara compared to a human, how large are Kumaras compared to humans?
They're multidimensional, so they're very big. They are out of the Earth's gravitational field big. They are very big.
That's exciting. Very good. So for her to know her role as a Kumara, she can call forth the energy as she needs it.
Yes, and wisdom and power are her main areas.
Very good. Very
So
good.
she should not be disappointed if she can't do great healing. That's not her task.
To do healing?
Yes.
Okay.
You are a medical officer. You do healing.
Okay. So can you also help Jeanette understand her role as the white buffalo calf woman? Can you give her more knowledge on that? Her abilities.
Kumaras have come to Earth many times in need. It's Kumaras who come as white buffalo calf woman. So white buffalo calf woman is a Kumara.
Ah,
And it is just how the natives called that manifestation.
so they're one and the same, different labels.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Is there any information that Jeanette needs to understand? She asked the question, does my soul higher self need me to understand any additional information while we're in this place?
She doesn't have to work so hard. because most of this is set up energetically and is happening anyway, as is your work. You are healing many without batting an eye. You are busy without needing to know or be busy.
I love the idea of not being as busy. I didn't understand. I mean, I feel like I'm only healing one at a time in these sessions.
No, you are a healer. You are healing many misconceptions that have become patterns of darkness and pain.
By not doing anything, just by being.
Every one person that you heal, anyone who has resonance with those things that have opened up or healed, is lifted.
Ah,
Resonance is the healer. You light one candle and the resonance is all the mirrors. It looks like 10,000 candles.
I never realized that. Okay.
You are an officer. You are acknowledged as a medical officer already.
Mm-hmm.
You are doing it in different ways.
So let me ask you, my work here on Earth, I realize I've not been, I feel like I'm a messenger as well, and I've not been writing or channeling like I feel like I need to. Can you give me some insight into that?
To be a messenger because you need to is the wrong reason. To be a messenger because it overflows your mailbox, that is the right reason. Being a messenger or not being a messenger is not impinging your role on Earth. By being on Earth, spending time in the spaceship, you are already actualized.
Okay.
So you do not what you need to do, but what brings joy and fun. There is your work is doing itself.
Mhm. I do love, though, I do love bringing the messages forward. I do enjoy when I watch people have aha moments from the messages, because I feel that can be healing as well. I feel like it gives them relief and understanding.
Then that is beautiful. We said, don't do it from a need, but do it from the overflowing. So that is joy, that is overflowing. Then those messages have an energy of joy and overflowing rather than they need to be given.
Yes, yes. I guess I'm referring to my writings. It's the actual physical compilation of the books, but I love when the writing comes through. I love the messages coming through. I love the idea of somebody holding that book and having aha moments going, wow, I love to watch a human shift. That is the incentive, to watch a human shift. It is the highest of the joy to see that happen.
Yes, that is you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there anything else I can be doing? Or you're saying as I see, as I
Do it as it comes, as it's joyful.
okay.
Right when you have time, but
Okay.
don't make it a
Sure.
chore. Yes.
Yes, yes. Very good with that. So Jeanette asked about her connection to the Galactic Federation, which now we see we're on the ship. She wanted to know if there's another lifetime that she should view that is impacting her work now or her life now. Is there another lifetime that I should show her that would benefit her?
Not on Earth.
Can we show her another lifetime on another place? Another planet? Another fractal of herself that she's doing work elsewhere that would tie together with what she's doing?
It is enough. She could go to Venus, but she already understands that.
Very good.
Her lives on Earth are not so important, actually.
Yeah. I know. It's the galactic connection that gives us our knowledge.
For those of us who accept it.
So, is it important for me? Would it be beneficial for me to tune into the work that Jeanette is doing to raise my consciousness or help raise the consciousness? Or am I at a good place for now?
Her work can accelerate you because she's helping build the Stargate. So it's accelerating and makes your road easier.
Okay. So, Jeanette, as the white buffalo calf woman, got her ceremonial pipe and went outside and raised it to the moon. She wants to know, can you tell her what was the purpose of that ritual, of that ceremony? What was she doing?
She was reconnecting to her star roots when she called the moon mother. She was recognizing that she came from a bright light far away.
Very good. And I wanted to ask, when Jeanette was doing the ceremony at Devilstown, Wyoming, last year with the Galactics, were we present? Jill and Alba and Michelle and I, were we there at that ceremony?
We're not sure all of you were.
Was I there at that ceremony? Or was I just imagining that?
You were there. The others may have been. Jeanette doesn't know them well enough to find their energy.
So on the ship, Jeanette displayed as a Nocturian. Is that how she displays when she's on the galactic ship, always as a Nocturian? Or does she come in as other fractals of herself, or does she always on the ship, is she Octurian?
She's not always Arcturian. The Stargates are called that because they are gates to many stars. She has impressions of herself on Sirius also.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
The Stargates, you might think of them as shipping lanes. So many beings and star people go through those shipping lanes.
Opening your eyes and coming back into the room.
Right.
How was that for you?
Well, that was fascinating. Yeah.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was fascinating. The how the whole starship thing, and that was interesting.
I love that you and I are hanging out on the same ship, huh? Although it sounds like it's ginormous,
Yeah,
but it's still kind of cool that we that's our night job.
that was interesting, and the kind of seeing the Stargate and how active it is, and that it needs to be constructed from Earth as well as from there, and that it's a little. It, I mean, it's a little interesting to say that the Earth may lose its magnetic field, but what I see is it's not a big deal. It's like Earth is an incubator for evolving consciousness, and it's doing its thing, and the evolved consciousness goes off into other worlds, and if the Earth doesn't live, that's all right. I never had that big a perspective before.
No, and that evolving consciousness then goes. I never knew that. That's why it stumped me a little bit. I was like, okay, wait, because I know you deal in consciousness all the time. So I was like, wait, understanding the concept of it was interesting.
Yeah, and how non-linear and non-human it is. It's not just about beings, it's about this field of consciousness. It was very interesting.
Is that information you already knew?
No, not
Oh,
that not that way at all. This was very helpful.
have you seen the Stargate before in your mind's eye?
Not so clearly.
Did
No.
you understand that you're building the Stargate? Did you know
No.
that was your
No.
task?
That was all new too. That was
Oh, you
so
didn't realize that's what your work is
no, I
about.
had no idea. That
Oh,
was
I thought you
very
knew that
no, that was
already.
very helpful. Like, oh, really? Yeah, no, I had no idea. So what Mark has always guided me to do, and he never tells me why or what we're doing. We just explore. But over the 30 years, he started from just teaching us how to take our consciousness out of our head and put it in a tree. To how to know that you're not just your consciousness is something bigger, and trying different things. And then he started helping us what he called lift the veils, and where we could almost see anger and these veils come off of us. Those were the very early days, because you had to get those things off of us.
Which
But
is like clearing density, like I do. I clear the guilt, the shame. I mean, there's so many ways of clearing the density. So you're seeing it consciously what it looks like.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, okay. I'm
and
with you.
and I always knew it was more than just at first there was only 10 people who I did it with, and then it was only 30, that it's more than that. And I always felt that it was urgent, that we had to get to some level. I didn't know what or why, but now I realize, I mean, I've never seen this. So we just go, Mark goes, okay, we're going to take you to the sixth dimension, and we get to experience godlike love. And I'm thinking, wow, this is heaven. And he goes, no, there's so much more. And then he takes us to the seventh dimension, where everything is happening all at once. Now I can't even remember how he defined the seventh dimension. And then we like play in it for maybe a year. And then he says, you're ready for the eighth dimension. It took us like 3 years in the eighth dimension, which is quantum beyond matter. And then we get our consciousness to function outside of matter, certainly outside of us. And as we do it, it's evidently building the Stargate. It's building our part of the tunnel, so that the star beings who are building their part, we can connect. So I didn't realize it
You
was
didn't
just
know this.
something.
Okay, see, I thought you understood that was what you were doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I just knew that I'm helping people explore higher dimensions, and that somehow it's it's going out in a resonant field to change the field of humanity, for because most people don't care, that it's doing something. But I never saw it so clearly as building this Stargate, and that
And
there's only one Stargate. That was interesting too. I could see I think there were like 12 entrances, but they're not necessarily on Earth. They're just, and they probably move around.
Can you draw, like if you had to draw the Stargate, could you draw the Stargate?
It was like, because when I was going through it as John, it was like spiral, but then lots of hexagons and lots of
You
geometry.
said it was geometry, yes.
Yeah, so it was a spiral and these geometries.
So that was the Stargate you were going through when you got on the ship.
Yeah,
So you and I must constantly go back and forth through the Stargate.
yeah.
Wow. And you went through it. You were like, and when you watch it back, it took you a minute to get through it. It was interesting. It took a little minute. You're real quiet. And you're like, not there yet, not there yet. I'm like, what are you seeing? I see a lot of geometry. I see a lot of geometries. Yeah, that's wow.
So there must not be, it's not like the Stargate just goes to the ship. It somehow it opens up and allows our human consciousness to be fluid enough that it can go to a ship or it can go to Venus or it can go to some other ship. It was interesting that it's a Galactic Federation ship because at first I couldn't tell if it was just Arcturian, but it's not. It's like this huge city, big, big, big city of,
Well, people live a lifetime on it.
yeah,
Live a lifetime on it. It's like a moving planet almost. Yeah.
yes.
People live there forever. Yeah. Um, so what was interesting is Jill and I think it's Jill had did a session like this, and she detailed the ship, and she's like, and there's Alba, and there's Laura, and there's this, and there's that, and now that we know you, there's you. And I was like, isn't this just fascinating? It's just fascinating how we came together, and yet we're all, what we realize is we're all working on the ship. That's our night, whatever job, and we are boots on the ground here. It's like you stay up there, but you have like an avatar down here.
Yes.
And so you connect and you contact, and they talk to you, but you get instructions on where to go. And it's really very fascinating. And I have to say, a lot of people that I put under, they'll go to the starship and they are boots on the ground for what they need to get done. And so it's fascinating that it's like most of us are boots on the ground, but we're on a ship. It's pretty fascinating. A lot of the people that come through do that.
Wow, that's really good news
Mm-hmm,
because it
mm-hmm.
means it is fluid, like I was seeing. It's very active conduit.
Yeah, yeah. So how about your Kumara? You got that answered too, huh?
Yes, I could feel that, and that wasn't so different than I thought. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that was interesting. And that, but what was new is that those star beings colonized Venus first before Earth was ready.
Yes, yes, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That was. And how was the experience for you? So did it feel like you were kind of in a movie? I mean, you were there. Did it feel like you were just kind of in a movie back and forth, like you could feel a lot of stuff of it?
I could see I could see stuff, but it wasn't so clear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I had to kind of really look. Um, and when I was talking, it was more like how I channel Mark, like Mark was talking. So I think Mark might be that, because I said that being is my partner, and he translates to me.
I thought the same thing. I should have asked the question, is that Mark? I did not ask that question. That would have been a great question because I thought the same thing. And you're saying the energy felt the same.
Yeah, and when I was answering your questions, it was the same way Mark would answer them.
I was wondering. Oh, I wish we'd have got that. I wish
Well,
we'd have
that
got
doesn't
that
matter. I
clarified.
think,
It's
yeah.
pretty fascinating, though. I think it's got to be the same because you're like, that's my partner who gives me all the information so that I can do the star maps and all of that. So you were doing that in the original place with that indigenous group of people. So
It'll be interesting to see I mean, I was clear that those papyrus, those scrolls with the star maps have not been found. They are not the Dead Sea Scrolls. They are something else that's not found.
We should have asked that question. They're probably hid dimensionally too, and when it's time.
And I kind of got that later when I got up to go to the bathroom that it was Lebanon. I'm not even sure where Lebanon is, but
You know what? And I got distracted because I should have gone back down to see what happens with those scrolls. We forgot to check on that. So shoot.
well, I looked and it's like they haven't been found yet.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So,
And maybe some monasteries built some there must be beings who know what they are
mhm,
and are
mhm.
there, but probably no one can read them. But it doesn't matter. I don't know why they were even there, but
I bet there's a team of boots on the ground that when it's time, they're going to be go get them. Had you ever seen yourself in an Arcturus connection?
no, and I don't know what Arcturians look like. But it was weird. It was like Dr. Spock. The fingers look like that. I don't know if Arcturians' fingers look like that, but that's what
Mhm.
I
Well,
saw.
you looked like what you looked like. And how about your face? How about your head? Did you look more like an alien?
Yeah, a lot like an alien.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If you Google Octurian, there's some really kind of cool pictures on the internet, and you can see if that's what you felt like you looked like.
Oh, okay.
Isn't this fun though? Isn't this
Oh,
fun?
interesting. And part of the time I'm thinking, am I really under? But I knew that I couldn't open my eyes when you said you can't open your eyes. So I thought, okay, I am.